Learning to be able to give a good compliment is an important skill to have. An example for you Americans is it's useful to give one out to the quiet kid, just in case he tells you what day not to show up at school. The problem is that it can be quite hard to know how to give a good compliment, especially if you're like me and haven't received many to use as an example. So, first off is something kind of similar to not clapping during if you're happy and you know it, and then I found it sort of counterintuitive at first, but it's become pretty natural to me nowadays, which is that insulting someone can ironically actually be a compliment, because you're essentially telling them that you both have a strong enough relationship to be able to take shit from each other. So far I've had a 100% success rate at immediately getting my friendships to the level where we respect each other enough to exclusively communicate through insults, by breaking the ice by calling their mother a whore. Moving on, we have one of the most important considerations to make with a compliment, which is deciding whether or not what you're saying is sincere. Woman, you can skip this part. One example of why you don't want to give out fake compliments is all it takes is just one fake compliment about your mate's painting, and the next thing you know, they're in the middle of finding out that they're concerningly good at giving speeches during their rant about why they got rejected from art school. Compliments are also not a one-size-fits-all affair. For example, perfectly fine to tell a dude, hey, nice beard bro, but for some reason in my experience it's a pretty terrible pickup line for women. I'd also suggest that you choose an appropriate time and place, as it can come off as a little bit weird if you hit on someone while you're at a funeral, especially if they're the one in the casket. That being said, I'm pretty sure it'd be rad as hell if you're the one in the casket. Another aspect of a good compliment is to make it so that it shows you care enough about them to know them well. That's why I like to stalk their Facebook so I can mention just how good their sense of fashion was back in 2012, especially while I introduce myself. Building on this is that imitation is the deepest form of flattery, as it's nice to have people copy parts of your personality or appearance, which is why you can try cutting off their face and wearing it, then try to steal their identity and convince all of their friends and family that you are them. If you're still struggling, you can always turn to performance-enhancing drugs, alcohol, which will have you telling people you've just met that they're the greatest thing that's ever existed. Just be careful, as it can just as easily have you telling them that you fucked their father instead. Another drug for this is LSD. Unfortunately, government stopped giving this one out, but it'll have you telling the person that really needs more love to know that they're actually valuable to this planet. You. At this point, we're probably both wondering the same thing, which is what percentage of shoe shop workers have raging foot fetishes? Well, that isn't what is important right now. What is important is the moral of the story. And the moral of the story for this one is to just be kind, because why not? Anyways, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.